What's up? What's up? Like I done beat y'all. Ain't nobody in the room. Guess I'm gonna just hang out then. Listen, I guess I take this opportunity to let you guys know why I'm going live again for the second time within about a 7 day period. What up? What up? What up? People filing in. Um, I did a video this week about I guess dating after not. I guess it was absolutely dating after sexual abuse or sexual trauma. And I understand that it wasn't energy that everyone wanted to take in. Um, People love the video who did watch it, but that's not. I don't expect people to click on something about a topic that heavy unless they can either relate to it or they're curious about it. I feel like some people didn't get enough of me this week because the video topic that I had was just so exclusive to a particular experience that a lot of people wouldn't have clicked on it just because you don't want to be brought down by anything I might potentially say, which is completely reasonable. I don't think it was a downer though. The video actually was a pretty positive video, and the people who watched it found it pretty enlightening. Even the dozen or so sexual assault victims who I've spoken to in the comment section. Yeah, that's why I'm live again because a lot of people didn't get enough of me this week because they didn't really watch my video for good reason. They were guarding their own energy, and I believe in that. I believe in guarding your energy. So sometimes it's just better to skip out or sit out a video, and that's all right. But it was really important for me to make that video because I've been getting a lot of requests, and I talked to a lot of women who have experienced sexual trauma, and dating for them is much harder sometimes than dating could be for a woman who hasn't experienced that. As hard as it seems for some women who haven't experienced something like that, just imagine how hard it is if you have anxieties attached to an experience that traumatic. So that's what I was doing this weekend, and that's why I'm going live because everybody wasn't in that conversation, but they might have had something else they wanted to address with me, and here I am. Um, Also, because I charge a donation of any amount now for emails, I feel better if I come on live and give people an opportunity who can't maybe afford to donate anything to get their questions read. So that's where we going. All right, that's what we're doing. Cool enough. I wonder. I know I've been getting dislikes, but it only shows me the likes while I'm live. I think I got like 4 or 5 dedicated haters, and no matter what I do, they hit the dislike button before the video. I had an 8 minute video that was up for like 30 seconds and had a dislike. Like somebody literally hit the notification button to dislike all of my stuff as it comes up. So, you know, I'm glad they have a full life. Um, anyway, what's going on, Heather? What's going on, Marwa? What's going on, T Heart? Sweet Diary Tips and Tricks. Elisa, I don't know. Fuck out of here. Look at you. Fuck. Oh wow, that's an interesting name. I'll allow y'all. Hi everybody. Hi everybody. Um, I appreciate it. Thank you. Somebody called me handsome, and I accept it. I'll allow it. Um, Finally caught you live, and thanks for following back too. Yeah, absolutely. I always try to show love, man. When people show me love, I show them love. I'm not funny acting, and I don't plan on getting Hollywood or sometimes some YouTube people can get funny acting when they start getting subscribers. All of a sudden, they don't really want to talk to people, or they just become unreachable or cold. And I'm not here to be internet famous, so I don't believe that my demeanor is ever going to change because of that. If I'm not in the mood to talk to people, it's just because I'm actually an introvert, or I'm an ambivert, but I'm more of an introvert, and I just like to recharge by myself and my own energy sometimes. So I take days off for that, but I'm always gonna show love to my supporters. Let me see. What are your thoughts on horoscopes when dating, single, in a relationship? That's an interesting. Fuck out of here! Look at you. That's funny. That's an interesting name you got there. Uh, what are my thoughts on horoscopes when dating, single, in a relationship? I guess I'd be lying if I didn't think that the whole zodiac system wasn't um, eerily accurate. At least as it pertains to the things I've read about myself and my loved ones. Our personality types and our personal profiles. As far as that, like that stuff is eerily accurate. And for the most part, it's as accurate as someone trying to describe you to someone else, but much better actually. I think I can give a better description of myself using uh, one of those how does a Libra act horoscope summaries of my personality than I could if I just tried to describe myself to you. I could just refer you to a page of one of those extended horoscope books. I'm not super big on it, but I think it's accurate enough. I think there's something to be said for it. Um, I don't necessarily go off the horoscopes as far as dating though. Like I wouldn't be dating a guy or dating a girl. Just in case some guys in the room or some girls, I wouldn't be dating a person and then go, you know what? Let me read my horoscope, and then the horoscope be like, you're gonna meet a shiesty character. Stay away from anybody that you meet this weekend, and then all of a sudden you canceling your date on him because the horoscope told you was gonna meet a shiesty character. I think that sometimes those horoscopes are bullshit because we don't know who's writing them and what their skill set or understanding of the zodiac system is. Anybody can actually become a tarot card reader or a score or horoscope giver. Like there's really no, I guess anybody can be a YouTuber and give relationship advice too. Here I am. But just because sometimes you don't know where it's coming from, and you don't know if the person who got paid to write the article or paid to write the article has a clear understanding of the system. If you do believe in it, you just want to take that stuff with a grain of salt. My wife read a horoscope for me today that didn't make any damn sense. And it wasn't even a dating horoscope. It was a regular horoscope, and it was talking about like you meeting a new love of your life. But it's not going to work out. And it was all this dating shit. And it's like, man, I got 2 kids. I ain't got no time for dating no damn body. All I want to do is raise my boys. So it didn't mean anything to me because it was very pointed and it didn't make sense. So that long ass answer for a short question. Just take that shit with a grain of salt when it pertains to your dating. Use your judgment, use your discernment. You have things in you. Your spirit knows things. Use your own judgment with people. Don't necessarily go with the horoscope. I don't value them to that degree. There's no point of me commenting. You won't even see mine. LOL. Okay, Destiny Allen. Well, you wasted one because I seen yours, and you didn't say anything. You probably will say something else. I might see that one too. Oh wow, it's a lot going on in this comment section already. Let me see. I'm gonna try to get to a lot of people. I love your smile. Somebody got a block comment, I think, because they said the F word, and in my comment section did the jump thing. So, okay, no, hold on. I'm trying to get. I was about to read a comment, and then it does the thing where it jumps while I'm trying to read the comment, and that doesn't necessarily help me get to questions. I almost got to her question. I almost did. It's not gonna get. I don't know what happened to her question. It disappeared. Literally disappeared. I'm gonna get back to your question. It started with "I love your smile." I appreciate that, but I'm gonna get back to it if I can scroll down slowly. Can you make a video about telling someone or giving signs to someone that you don't like them? I suppose I can. I think I might have been asked that a couple of times this year, but not enough that I thought it would jog any minds. But you know what? I'll look into it. I'll see what I can come up with. If I can give you some value, I don't just do content just to entertain people. Some people put out 2 and 3 videos a week, and they ain't really saying nothing in the videos. They're just talking. But I really want to. I want people to leave my videos with new information and things that they can apply to their life. And so that's why another reason I don't do a lot of videos. I just do one every week. And hopefully one every week. Sometimes I don't even get to that. But that's the reason, because I want to really add value. And if I can impart something on that conversation that really gives somebody a perspective they might not have heard, then I'll definitely do it. Somebody said, why are your videos so late? Or is it just my timeline? It's almost midnight by me. No, it's almost midnight by me. I'm on Eastern Standard Time. I live in Ohio. So, yeah, it's almost midnight by me. My videos are always late. I did a string of early weekend videos. They did pretty well. I think because I've done 2 or 3, I've actually done 3 or 4 late videos. My next video will be early in the morning, probably on the weekend. So for the early birds, and for those in earlier time zones, they'll be happy about that. My videos are so late because, like I said, I have a wife and 2 kids, and it takes us a while to get my kids down. I don't think they go down to about 10:30 is when when I'm reading the bedtime story to my 4-year-old. It's like 10:30, and he wants me to read 2 or 3 books. I have to sing a couple of songs, and then I have to pray. And so putting my son down, even if we get him in the bed and under the covers by 10:30, it still takes another 15 minutes to get him down between reading his 3 short books, and then he requests a bunch of songs. He wants us to sing songs. Well, I don't sing, so I rap the cleanest rap songs I can remember the lyrics to, and then we pray. And that's basically what we do. So it takes a while for us to get them down, and usually 11 o'clock is when we're just like, they're down, they're done, unless he chooses to play on the steps, and then we go through something. But for the most part, my videos are late because it just takes my family are all late. We're night owls, and we go to sleep pretty late. So it's just the best time, the most convenient time. I can't go live with my 4-year-old running around. He just doesn't give a damn about what I got going on. He just that's not a concern for him. So there's no real quiet place for me to go and talk to you guys and really give you my real attention when my son's running around. And then the 1.5 with a 19-month-old, he doesn't really give a damn about what I got going on either. They both pretty much take up all the attention. So that's why I go live late, because it's when my kids are asleep or quiet. Renee McGee said, thank you for talking about this. I think she's referring to my video about sexual trauma. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for watching it if you did. Like I said, the views were a lot lower, and I already knew the views would be low in that video because no one really wants to take in that type of energy unless they absolutely have to, or they can relate to it in some way. So I got it. Yeah, somebody say he has a wife and children who take up his day as they should. Yeah. And I actually went to my my 4th or 5th job. I think it's about my 5th job now today. So I worked a little bit today. I have a menial job at a restaurant that I took a couple of years ago, just because I had some goals. I wanted to save some money, and I didn't want it to really come out of my budget or my family's budget. But I had some financial goals I wanted to meet as far as some investment stuff. And so I took an extra job at this restaurant a couple of years ago, and I kept it for maybe 10 months, 11 months, and then I left. But because they liked me so much and I didn't mind it, I liked working there. I stayed on support. So like I said, I got a lot of jobs. I got a lot of stuff going on, but I absolutely worked this morning at my little restaurant job that I picked up a while ago, but I don't really work there anymore. They just call me in when they absolutely need me or somebody gets fired. But that's not my real job. Somebody say, hey, Kev, hey, love that you have haters. Yeah, you ain't made it unless you had some haters. And until I got haters, I knew I wasn't nobody on YouTube yet. When I started getting consistent dislikes, that's when I realized that I made it. You know what? When y'all see a Kev Hick exposed video, that's when I made it. Y'all see Kev Hick get exposed, that's when I definitely made it. Because you ain't nobody until you get exposed. I don't care what nobody say. Until you get some haters making videos about you, you ain't nobody. I don't have a question. I just want to say that I've learned a lot from your videos. My dating life is great right now. Well, that's awesome, Crystal. I'm very, very happy that somebody has good news about their dating life, because ultimately that's all that matters to me. And I don't normally get that. I normally get people on the other side of great. Somebody said, do you believe that two people, Natasha Martin said, do you believe that two people can be so drawn to each other that they can be in love after only texting and video chatting for a week straight? No. I think that we confuse infatuation for love. We confuse heightened levels of interest for love. We are in love with the idea of love, and that draw, we know what love feels like, and we're in love with love. So I feel like you can be in love with the idea of being in love with someone, and it feels like you might be in love with them when really you just love, and the excitement of being loved is what you're really drawn to. Not to say that you're not drawn to that person, but there's no way in hell that you're absolutely in love with a person after a week. And I know people say that, and they do it on movies, and I get it. I get it. There have been email. See, there have been a lot of successful relationships. Have had from people who felt that way, but it wasn't because they were literally in love. It was they were so committed to the idea of being in love with each other that it just they stayed together and they did whatever it took to work. But you know that level of enthusiasm is great. But I would never confuse anything you've done for a week with someone for love. You know, but it's good though. If you feel that way, if you feel that strongly about them, then that's good. But I worked with a girl who did that shit. Sorry, Christian folk stuff. I worked with a girl who did that stuff, and after 10 days, she tattooed this dude's name right on her wrist. After 10 days, on the 11th day, she found out that he had a damn girlfriend and a baby's mama that he was staying with. But she believed in that love crap. She believed in that super quick love stuff. Like I've known this, I've seen this over and over. People aren't really uh, that in love after that time. It's not necessarily possible, in my opinion. But what the hell do I know? I'm just some guy from the internet. I don't have no degree in love. You know, I'm just YouTube's hitch. Dory Berry says it means you're doing amazing. Somebody's doing amazing according to Dory Berry. I don't think she's talking. Oh yeah, maybe she's talking about me. Maybe somebody said dedicated haters. LOL. Yeah, I literally have dedicated haters. As soon as I drop a video, like it could be 30 seconds. Somebody's hitting the notification button because as soon as I hit a video, I'm like maybe like one dislike. Now of course it's like after like an hour, it's like one dislike, 1,000 likes, or one dislike, 400, 200 likes. And so it's always like 1 to 200. It's not even a significant enough amount to get me under 98% hate to dislike ratio. So which wouldn't matter to me anyway. I'm not trying to impress everybody, and everybody doesn't have to agree with me. That's not why I'm here. Somebody said, "Do you resonate with your sign Libra?" I absolutely do, man. I'm blown away by how accurate the descriptions can be, especially when you get into the more specific dates of the month. It gets kind of creepy how accurate some of that stuff can be, and so yeah, I resonate with it. Can you talk about older women and younger men soon? I think I can. I've been asked to do that video a few times this year. Especially after some consultations, a few of my clients have similar situations going on, and they like to hear my take. But remember, I don't talk about stuff I don't know. Now I know about a young man's infatuation for an older woman. Being a young man who, if I was single, I would be interested in older women because they've always been interested in me. I've always had trouble. At least when I was a teenager, like teenage girls didn't like me very much. They thought I was very handsome, and as soon as I talked to them, they thought, okay, he's way too serious, so we're gonna move on to somebody I just want to have some fun. And it was weird because when I was a teenager, 30-year-old women would talk to me. 40-year-old women, somebody's mom will be at the grocery store while I'm bagging their groceries trying to get my number. So I've always attracted older women, and older women have always been attracted to me. So I can speak from that perspective, from the perspective of the guy, and why sometimes the infatuation is absolutely serious, and it's not just a fetish for a young man sometimes. And so that's the angle I would take on that video. I can't speak about the perspective of an older woman because I'm not one. But yeah, I will be doing a video about that eventually. I actually might have one in the works. I have like 75 files started for different video topics, and so I had to look at my file and see where I'm at on that, because I kind of I write my videos down loosely to make sure that I hit certain very important points. So I have to look at the notes on that video and see how much progress I made. Somebody said you have very simple yet powerful info about guys and girls. Well, yeah, I don't think you should overcomplicate anything because you have to speak. You have to speak to. I don't believe in speaking to the lowest common denominator, but I don't think that talking above people's heads benefits anybody. If I'm looking to make change in people's lives, then I have to speak in a way, and I have to lay out concepts that agree with their consciousness and the level of understanding that they have. See, I can tell it to you, but I can't understand it for you. And if I tell it to you in a way that's so complex that you don't understand it, then is it your misunderstanding or mine? Did I misunderstand my audience? And so it's very important that you keep things simple, yet powerful. I think it's a skill to be able to put power in simple. Uh, Not that I always get right, but I think I do a good enough job that somebody's being helped by it. Uh, Thank you for the comment. Let me see. LLA, can you? I already read that. Look at it. The damn comment section. It's like it keeps readjusting itself on my end anyway. Kev, let your haters be your motivators. I don't even. I can't be motivated. My haters are weird. My haters. Most of the time when I get a hater, they are misunderstanding the concept, the subtext, and the context of my video. I don't have any haters who understand what I'm saying and hate me. They might disagree, but the haters that I get don't understand what I'm saying. Like when women get in my comment section and call me a toxic, sexist, chauvinist, misogynist, they clearly don't understand what I'm saying. They don't understand the context in which I'm speaking, and they are just on the extreme side of feminism. I speak to a feminist, a very, very intelligent woman, probably one of the smartest people I've talked to. I'm gonna call her Gigi. Gigi from Japan, if you're watching, you anonymous. But Gigi out of Japan, I talked to Gigi, and she's not Japanese, but Gigi, she's a feminist. And for a while, I was thinking, wait a minute, the feminists hate me. And I don't know a lot about feminism. I've always supported most of the causes. You know what I'm saying? And so I thought I was a feminist friendly until I got called a toxic misogynist a few times in a row. And I was like, wait a minute, maybe I'm not feminist friendly. And I was talking to Gigi, and she was just telling me, just like every other movement, they have their extremists, they have their identity extremists, and they take it to a whole nother level. And you got to kind of ignore them, because for the most middle of the road feminists, I'm not offending them. And so that was new information for me. Like I said, I don't know everything, and Gigi's a bit older than me, and so she gave me that game. She gave me some wisdom. And so, like I said, you say let your haters be your motivators. I don't think somebody that far. Vanessa, look at this, Vanessa. I didn't even see your name. You're my favorite, Vanessa. Vanessa's one of my favorite people, by the way. Very, very interesting, intelligent woman. Anyway, but yeah, I don't necessarily let those haters they can't motivate me, because I don't necessarily respect their position enough to care about being motivated by it. I think you have to be a worthy opponent to motivate me, and some people aren't equipped to have those conversations, and so that's why they get in the comment section and just start calling people names if they've heard some information that they don't agree with. Some people aren't equipped, and so if I feel that you're not equipped, or you're ill-equipped to have the conversation or the debate, and I don't even like to debate very much, but I mean, we can go there. If you're not smart enough to have a real conversation about it with facts and not just feelings or insults, then I can't even be motivated by you, because we're on two different planes. Jennifer Atwood said, "I really enjoy learning from you." I appreciate that. I hope people learn, and that's my point. My Williams said, "What's today's topic?" I don't know. I haven't done a guided, and I should probably do a guided live, but I haven't done any guided lives yet. Like, if we named a topic, would everybody want to talk about it for that long? I don't know. So if you guys want me to do guided lives, I guess you can start putting you can put in the comment section what kind of guided live, what topic you like to talk about for like, I'll be on here for like an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. So if it's something you want to talk about for that long, then we can definitely do a guided live. But I just wouldn't even know where to start. There's so many things to talk about in the relationships. Okay, nobody cares. Gmail. My Gmail settings are out of date or something. I don't know. Anyway, somebody said, "Oh, he's still live. I did miss it." No, you didn't miss it. New to your channel. Well, she said, "Ha ha ha." It's my first initial and pronunciation of my last name. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Because I thought it was just like a. I'm so sorry. I thought it was one of them acronyms that there was just like one of them funny acronyms. I'm so sorry if that's your name. I appreciate it. I apologize, but it will be a really cool acronym too. Okay. Oh my God, I was just about to hit the hey and boom, my Kev. Look, man, I don't want to keep y'all up. I'm just a night owl. I don't go to bed till like 2 or 3 anyway. But I start working first shift in like 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, I'll stop doing these late night lives because I'll be getting up at 7 in the morning. But right now I don't work first shift, so I can do what I want. Hey Kev, appreciate all your advice you just shared with a friend of mine. Thank you. Okay. So I helped somebody. I helped a friend of yours today. Well, tell them thanks for watching or talking to me. I don't know. I talk to a few people a day. Well, a lot of people a day. Could a bitter ex-girlfriend be disliking your videos? No. Somebody asked me, could one of my bitter ex-girlfriends be liking my disliking my videos? I don't have any bitter ex-girlfriends. All of my ex-girlfriends, they think that I'm great, and we get along fine. We haven't talked in a while. None of my ex-girlfriends and I speak anymore, but that's just because it's not appropriate. But no, I have great relationships with my ex-girlfriends. I don't have those types of problems. People like me, even my ex-girlfriends. People prefer me. Angela said, I have a question. If you had a conflict with a guy who showed a lot of interest, and after the conflict he ghosted me, does that mean he never liked me? No, some guys just don't know how to accept rejection, disappointment. They don't know how to process disappointment. And a guy can, just like a woman, can be turned off by something, and you might not have thought it was, anything, newsworthy, but if you have a conflict with the guy and for whatever reason it hits him in one of those, we were talking about pain points or triggers in the sexual abuse video that I just did. Guys have triggers. Guys have pain points. Just like women, there are things that you can do to put a guy in a place where he either feels rejection is coming, rejection is imminent, or that for whatever reason you guys won't work. There are a lot of ways to turn a person off. And so if a guy ghosts you after a conflict, then you probably just hit one of those trigger points. And I don't think that it was that he never liked you, but I don't think he was stable enough to get to know you anyway. Like if a guy's going to ghost you after a conflict instead of trying to work through the conflict, then he was too fragile to begin with. And not to down him, but for whatever reason, for what you needed, he was too fragile. Yeah, I don't think you would have never worked, because if you were in a relationship, that's the type of guy that just walks out of the house because he can't function in conflict. He doesn't know how to resolve things. So if a guy ghosts you, it's more indicative of his personality and his lack of conflict management than if he ever liked you. Somebody said put your wife in a video. She will in due time, whenever she's ready. We're thinking about a few concepts we can do. So maybe we'll do take some questions. I know a lot of people have questions for my wife, mostly revolving around if I'm a fraud, So that'd be an interesting thing. If I'll set it up somehow where people can submit questions to my wife, and then she'll get in the video and answer the questions. But I know what most of them is like, okay, he talks all this shit. How is he for real? I get it. But I'd be interested to see that video. I just shut the hell up. I'll just sit in the video, just shut up and let y'all talk to her. I don't care. Let me see. Okay, I got it. I don't know why it may not have. This might be a different question. It says, "I love your smile. It makes it better on me when I effed up a relationship and I come to your videos for help." Well, if you know you effed up a relationship, then it's a sign that you're at least mature enough to correct yourself. A lot of women have an issue. A lot of people in general, not just women, but for the sake of my audience being 95% women, uh, which I have to keep reminding people because they always say, "Well, why don't you ever talk to the guys?" Because guys don't watch my videos. But if you're mature enough to realize that you need help or guidance or just an opposite perspective, then it's a good sign that you're going to be all right. I think that people who assume that everything they've done is great and refuse correction, whether that be self-correction or from an outside person, those people are in trouble, especially in relationships, because you have to compromise. And if the person can't compromise with themselves to be better, then they damn sure can't compromise with the partner. So you're in a good way. And I'm glad you love my smile. I love it too. I don't like my teeth as much, but I love my smile. I got some crooked shitty by them teeth. I'm going to try to get me some Invisalign one day, but my mama and my wife told me they give me character. They're supposed to say that. They stuck with me. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Somebody gave me a $4.99 super chat. I forgot about super chat. I forgot there was a thing. Somebody said, "Thank you for all your help in my consultation. You're a blessing." Oh, Jessica. What's going on, Jessica? How you doing? I remember Jessica. I remember you, Jessica. I'm glad you found it helpful. Thank you. Thank you for your consultation. Like I said, man, y'all people help me when they buy consultations or support the email system or join me on Patreon or donate to my PayPal. So I appreciate y'all as much as you appreciate me. Angela and I have the same situation. I hope you see it. I don't know what we're seeing. Somebody said, "What's your sign?" Libra. Libra. Victoria A. I'm a Libra. I ain't gonna tell y'all my age because there might be some of you soothsayers in the building, and I don't know if one of y'all are my haters. That's sweet of you. I believe in intro. I believe you. I believe you're an introvert. Most deep thinkers are a team introvert, and hashtag deep thinkers. Yeah, I'm actually at this moment I'm with what's called an ambivert. So that's either an introvert or an extrovert that displays or has the tendencies of the other. I'm basically both. I'm a very, very balanced person. All of my Myers-Briggs tests come back basically 50-50, almost down the line, like everything. I'm an extremely balanced personality, like tested. And I don't remember if I'm a J, T. I don't remember all the letters. I got it written down somewhere in my book. I'll go get it, but at some point. But yeah, I'm an ambivert. So I've always been an introvert. I've always been a thinker. I've always been quiet to myself. I recharge by taking in my own energy. I can't. I need a nap after I encounter people. At least in person, I found that on the internet, it doesn't drain me as much to talk to you guys. But like, say it was 3 people in my house talking to me, I would need a nap. Like they would have to leave. They would have to get the hell out of my house by a certain time, and then I would need a nap. So I'm an introvert, but I have extrovert tendencies. Like I can be the life of the party if I'm comfortable in the party. Um, I found it recently that I can give a speech in front of hundreds of people and not feel like I don't feel the fear. Like I'm all right. Like some people confuse introvert with shy or reserve. And introvert extrovert, the scientific basis for it is more about how you draw your energy, how you expel and how you draw in energy. Some people are energized by interacting with other people. And sharing energy. Other people need to draw within to themselves to feel energized. And so that's what a real introvert is. It's not necessarily because a person's shy. You can be a very, very shy extrovert. it doesn't really have as much to do with shy or outgoing as it does how you take in and expel and draw in energy, how you recharge. Um, Thank you for the life to be lived. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate it. No question, just some love. I appreciate that. Um, Got to see who she is. Somebody talking about my wife. There are pictures of my wife on Instagram. And I'm about to. Oh, while I got 258 of y'all with me, I just started another Facebook. Okay, I want a Facebook takeover. I'm planning a Facebook takeover, so I just started a new Facebook. I put a link to my new Facebook, I believe, in the comment of my last video, but y'all didn't go see that one. A lot of y'all didn't. But in my next video, I'll give the links to my Facebook, my new Facebook, because Facebook shut down my original Facebook page dedicated to this YouTube because it wasn't my real name. They wanted me to send them my ID and all this goofy crap. I'm not about to send Facebook my ID to keep no on social media page. So I had 1,000 friends on there, and then they just deleted it because they said it wasn't my real name. So I have a new one with something closer to my real name. Let's see if they don't delete this one. But until then, I will be accepting a lot of friend requests on Facebook. I'll try to put the link in the description of this, but you'll have to come back later to get it. But I'll put the link to that Facebook in the description. I don't have any friends right now. I might have like 4 or 5 friends. Whoever, I think I might have friend requested like 50 people today. So whoever accepted me, that's who I have. But I just did it. So that's going to be something that y'all should look out for. And basically, I'm doing a Facebook thing. I need people to share my videos. I will start uploading videos probably about 2 or 3 weeks after I upload them on YouTube. I'm not gonna synchronize it with YouTube because I don't want to steal my views and steal the experience from people who really support me. But when I do share my videos on Facebook, I'm looking for people to join me on Facebook who are willing to share my videos. If you're not willing to share my videos, appreciate you. And you can be my friend. But like I said, I'm really looking forward to trying to get out there on Facebook and expand my reach a little bit and try to help some more people, Somebody said, "Hi, Kevin. I've been watching a lot of your videos, Javanka. I appreciate it. Keep watching them." Somebody said, "I love your channel and your advice. May God continue to be with you and your family." I appreciate that. You're too real to be you're too real to be true. You've exposed quite a good number of guys' tricks on here. I love you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been getting a few guys in the comment section. They upset. Some of them upset, but I don't care. Like, for the most part, good men are in my comment section telling me, "Hey, man, we appreciate what you do." I get more good guys commenting and adding to the conversation. I get these negative guys that slip up and watch one of my videos by accident, not knowing what the context of my channel is, and they'll leave me something that alludes to them, worshiping the pimp lifestyle, or they're talking about simping and all of this shit, and I get it. And I understand those concepts, but I don't think respecting our women and protecting our women is simping. I think that it's the duty of a man. And there's a difference between, tricking off and simping than, just handling your responsibilities as a man and being honorable and working from a place of integrity, and emotional and intellectual security that you offer in a woman. I don't think that's simping. I think they got the game messed up. Somebody said Chinese horoscopes are great also. Yeah, I think the Chinese horoscopes are pretty cool. I think the tiger might be a tiger. I don't know. I always wanted to be a tiger. Yeah, I'm a tiger. I don't think I'm a dog. I think I'm a tiger. If that makes the Chinese zodiac, the animal anyway. But I don't know if maybe I'm wrong. When I used to eat at a Chinese restaurant, I think I was always the tiger. People are like, "What the hell are you talking about, Kevin?" I don't know. Somebody said, "I just binge watched your videos this weekend." Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope I have enough content pretty soon that you can binge watch again. I just subscribed. I truly do enjoy your videos. It made me realize that I was doing things right the whole time. Absolutely. Some people aren't watching my videos for correction. They're watching for validation or confirmation. And it's a pleasure to give that to. Um, Somebody said, "Oh my God, my current ex is a Libra. I'm a Leo." I'm not into it enough to know what that even means, what the significance of a Libra versus a Leo is. Somebody said, "How do I attract guys that are into dating single moms?" Oh, okay. So that's a good question. How do I attract guys that are into dating single moms? Um, I got to be honest here. Uh, Donna Marie TV. There is there is a way. First of all, there are much more men willing to date a woman with one kid versus willing to date a woman with, three, four, or five kids. So I like a lot of guys who don't even think that they want kids can meet a woman that they are, fall in love with and say, you know what, I can handle this. And not only did the amount of kids that you have, but the age of the kids and the ease of which one might be able to deal with those kids, it matters too. So I can't just say, well, good men want single mom or will date single moms, because that is all the preference of the man. There are a lot of good men who don't want kids, who don't want the responsibility. And so I feel like if you're looking to attract guys that are into single moms, it's going to have to be guys that are open to kids or have kids. And I'm not sure how you attract men that are open to kids or that have kids unless those men are like me. And there are a lot of men out there. Some men are attracted to motherhood, or the skills of motherhood being displayed. Like if I see a good mom, like that's attractive. And so I guess this is such a broad question. I'm not sure I can give you the perfect answer here, but basically, being a very good mother attracts guys who respect a woman who digs deep into her motherly energy. And uh, man, I don't know. I can't tell you exactly how to attract those guys, but those guys just like good moms. And because if a guy wants to have a kid with you, he's going to want you to be a good mother figure for his kid. Or if he has kids, he's going to want you to be a good mother figure for his kids. He needs to see that skill set in you, because a guy who wants a family is going to want a strong family. And so you're attracting a certain type of guy that wants a family. And you just have to show that you have the skills to provide some value to a whole family. But we don't know who those guys are. There are a plethora of types of men who are interested in single women. So maybe I'll do a video. Somebody asked me today to do a video about dating as a single mom, or dating as a parent, things that women and men should look out for when dating. I think I'll try to add that thought to that video and give you something more to think about, Donna Marie, because that's a large topic with a lot of different nuances. Hold on. Somebody super chatted but forgot to ask a question. Life to be lived. Yes, life to be lived super chatted but forgot to ask questions. So my wife sent me the question so I don't lose her. Life to be lived's question said, is it okay for me to go to dinner with a man who asked me by text, who I've met in a social meet group, but I know my text who I met in a social meet group, but I know because of an big gap he could only be a friend. Oh, a big age gap. I don't think it's wrong to go to dinner with anybody. I think that you have to measure people. Like, you give somebody a chance to at least be a friend to you. Hold on. First of all, I just want to say thank you very much. I'm gonna beat up your name. Shamiha Magazi. Shamia Magazi for the €5 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You didn't ask a question though, but I really appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. But back to life to be lived. She said, "Is it okay for me to go to dinner with a man who's asked by text, who I've met in a social group?" Yeah, it's okay. Even if there's a big age group, if you can get over the big age gap, then it's okay to go on the date. Excuse me. I think that for the most part, most of the things that people have a problem with, as it pertains to age gaps, is internal. Like, you'll think about that the whole time. That young man might not think about that. And maybe it was a typo. I'm just making sure. Um, but yeah, I think that it's okay to at least entertain him or be a friend. And for whatever reason, if he proves different, maybe he proves you wrong, that he's capable of being more than a friend. And now you're pleasantly surprised. But what's wrong with dinner? I don't think that that's too bad. I don't think that that's too much. Somebody said, I agree with Victoria. Please put my wife and your wife in one of your videos. We'll do eventually. But yeah, life to be lived. I don't think it's a big deal if you go to dinner with somebody. At least to tell him, hey, I think you're a nice person, but it's the big age gap here. We can just be friends. Da 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 da. I don't think that's too much. Bree W said, I also agree. So what's your? Hold on, I got another text message. My wife apparently has stopped watching her favorite show and started mediating the comments again, which I love. She said, glad to catch you live. Would love to be a sponsor. Natural hair, skincare. Okay, so that's what I wanted to tell you guys. When you super chat for $1.99, if I'm not like in that section of the comment section, I don't see it. So please don't ever think if you super chat for like $2 or under that I just like, oh, that ain't good enough, I ain't gonna respond. It just doesn't pop up. It don't go to the top like the other super chats. And so I love when my wife actually sends me this additional information. I appreciate it. I guess email me and we'll talk about that. She said, glad to catch you live. Would love to be a sponsor. Natural hair skincare. Yeah, we'll talk about that, because I think that anything that my viewers can benefit from is I'm open to discuss. I'm not gonna let somebody sponsor me. Somebody try to sponsor me selling pheromones. What the hell I'm gonna look like trying to get y'all to go buy some pheromones? Like, come on, man. But natural skincare, that's something that people can benefit from. So natural hair and skincare, shout out to you, and I'll be in touch with you, or get in touch with me. I need another business email because my email just gets so beat down with email questions that I can't even keep up with it anymore. Somebody said, Kev, we love you and we don't care about the haters. Of course, fangirl love. Absolutely. I don't give a damn about them either, for real. But sometimes I'm so taken back by how stupid a comment is, I just leave it up. A lot of times I'll block a hater if they're just being nasty or being insulting. But if somebody really thinks they're in a conversation and their comment displays that they have no concept of what we're talking about, I just leave it up there. I guess secretly hoping somebody correct them, but I just leave it up there because it's entertainment at that point. Somebody say, yes, I agree. So what's your wife's sign if you're a Libra? My wife is a Capricorn. Kev answer. Somebody said, Kev answer Angelina. Thank you. Angelina. I had to find Angelina. Maybe my wife can find Angelina if she can hear me, if she's watching. She seems to be in the comment section right now. I found Angelina. I already answered that, didn't I? Yeah, I got it. Unless she asked another one. Okay, somebody said, I love your channel and your advice. May God continue to be with you and your family. I appreciate that. We really appreciate that. Be it unto me, even as you have said. Okay, I'm in a whole nother section now. Somebody said, hold on. Yes, astrology gets so much shit, but it's crazy true. Our moon, rising Venus, and rising signs deceive ourselves more so than the sun sign. Now, you clearly have an understanding of it. Remind, I'm not gonna kill your last name. You have an understanding of it. That was like Spanish to me, but it sounded like you know what's going on. So I'm not gonna second that. But hey, I appreciate that you have the knowledge that you're going to give us the game one day. You should probably start a YouTube channel. Those are pretty popular, actually. I'm into it a little bit, but not enough to know what the sun and the stars are doing. I just popped up in your chat. Okay. Right when you were talking about the tiger. What up, 86? Yes. One of my Patreon supporters is in the comment section and just text me. My Patreon supporters, I think I might be sold out on that one, but they're a group of about 25 people who can just text me like my cousin would text me or like my wife would text me. Somebody said horoscope. Ramon also said, and she seems to have the understanding. So I'm gonna listen to her. She said horoscopes are stupid predictions, but astrological planets are true most of the times. I've looked into this for many years. Well, thank you for giving us that game because I basically just said the same thing, and but you just gave the background game, so I appreciate that. Somebody said if I suspect a guy has a girlfriend, but technically we're dating, should I confront him or drop him? Listen, if you're technically dating a man, you should at least know his single status outside of you. So yeah, you damn sure want to confront him. Confront sounds very aggressive. If a guy's elusive enough to lie about having a girlfriend, then confronting him is just going to allow him another opportunity to lie. So, do you feel like dealing with that type of shit? Do you feel like trying to squeeze truth out of somebody? I think you need to get confirmation somehow, but I'm not sure if you do that by confronting a person who's already dishonest. But you can try. Hell, give it a shot. I mean, but social media age, all you got to do is inbox his girlfriend if she exists. It shouldn't be too hard. Should be in the comment section somewhere. Let me see. I'm sorry I'm spamming, but can you please put your wife? I'm telling you, man, she'll do her thing when she feel like it. Hell, it took me years, and I have like a reason, like something I wanted to tell people, and it took me years to get on YouTube because it's just not it's not the dream of being judged by 1,000 people or thousands of people isn't a big one. Like no one wants to be judged. Everyone wants to be liked, but no one wants to be judged. I think my wife is very balanced and she's okay with a lot of things, but she's not excited about the possibility of somebody getting in the comment section and being disrespectful, but she's also not afraid of it. So it's one of those things where when she feels like she has something to offer the conversation, she'll jump into it. But like I said, I kind of do this. This is not her, it'd be operating outside of what she does. She's into some spiritual stuff, and my wife has some gifts, but talking to 1,000 people at a time, or with the intent of 1,000 people, that's not her gift. This is my gift. So while it will be cute, I'm not sure she can give you the same type of information that I can give you from the same perspective or from a similar perspective. I think that she has her own gifts, and they're not giving relationship advice, but she has her own gifts. And so if we can find a way that she can share her gifts, she'd probably be more likely to get on here, because if you're in your element, you're more comfortable, you're more confident. And that's anything. Somebody said, yeah, you can't live off zodiac signs, you'll be missing out. Absolutely. Somebody said, and Miss Q said, zodiac signs and horoscopes are different. I'm not into horoscopes, but zodiac signs tend to be generally true. Absolutely, absolutely. Between you and Ramon, y'all giving out the game, and I have to bow down to it. But it's exactly what I thought, but I didn't know why I thought it or why, or or how it would come to be. But I'm with y'all. Nikki says, hi, Kevin. I appreciate your knowledge. Even in my 45 years of life, we're still learning. Awesome channel. Absolutely, Nikki. Listen, I always tell people, and I truly believe this, and I heard some wise person said it somewhere. I suck at giving you the quote of who said it, but I remember it. It said, everyone that you meet in life will be your superior in some way. And I found that to be absolutely true. So whether you're a CEO walking past a janitor, that guy knows something about something that you don't know about. Like no matter who you're walking in, no matter who you're encountering, there's always something that someone knows that you don't. There's always a talent or a gift or an ability that someone else has. And so, it's a lesson in humility to try to figure out what that thing is and try to soak up game from everyone that you encounter and try to figure out how you can learn from everyone around you. That's how I've always operated. I've always understood that somebody has something to offer no matter where they are in life or the snapshot I see of them. Or if I pull up to a McDonald's, I don't assume that McDonald's employee doesn't have anything to offer me or that they couldn't learn. I couldn't learn anything from them. I think that level of humility is what builds wisdom. But that's just me. But I didn't make up that quote. That quote is for real. Somebody made a quote up that was much smarter than me. JB said, "Hey Kev." Hey JB. EB says, women are encouraged to date men no matter their financial situation. But if a man feels he can't provide for you and ends up ghosting, what gives? I think that sucks. If you try to give a guy a chance and he pretends that he can handle it, and then he gets a bit trepidatious about a relationship and his ability to provide, and then all of a sudden he ghosts you. That sucks. But again, he was gonna ghost you for some reason or another. Remember I talked about how some guys are more fragile than they let on, and a guy who ghosts you, especially about some finances, he's a bit more fragile than he lets on. He's a bit more insecure about his financial situation he lets on. Some guys are broke and they don't even know they broke. Yeah, you can't tell them that they ain't all of that in a bag of chips. Man, that's a very old analogy, but I didn't want to say the SHIT word. I'm working on myself. Try not to cuss, but some guys know that they the S and they broke. They got 3 cents in their pocket and they don't give a crap, and they gonna date whoever they want to, and they ain't never gonna ghost about no finances. You'll be homeless in the cardboard box with them, and they'll still be confident. And then other guys, they feel like if they don't have nothing to offer, that they're useless, and it plays on their psyche, and then eventually they just leave because they don't have anything to offer. I know somebody. I have a family member that not exactly the same, but when he doesn't have good news, he's a hermit. Like, he won't talk to anybody. He stays out of everybody's way. If he doesn't have very good news, if he doesn't have anything to brag about, you will not see him. And if he doesn't get anything to brag about in the 1 year or 2 year time, then you just ain't gonna see him for that amount of time. Because he has a rough life, and so he didn't want to share that with anybody, and he ghosts family members. If you accidentally catch him, he'll ghost you after that. He'll be like, "Oh yeah, we can hang out tomorrow." You won't hear from him for 6 months, and you can try to call him every day. He don't care. He's ghosting you because he doesn't have anything to offer. And some guys are like that with women. Let me see. How can a mom start building a relationship with a preteen son when she realizes he's not a kid anymore? My God, that is a profound question. Let me think back. I think that the time you realize your son isn't a kid, and the time he realizes he's a kid is different. And while young men obviously go from preteens to teens, young adulthood, man, when you get to be about 13, you start feeling like, you're not as big as all the other adult men, but you start feeling like a man. And so I suppose building a relationship with your preteen son, thinking back on my interesting preteens and teen years, I think that you have to meet him where he is. And it depends on how he looks at himself. You want to respect how he looks at himself, but you also want to maintain the respect level and the hierarchy that you've developed. I think that it's different for a woman who's building a relationship with a preteen son who challenges her versus a woman who's trying to maintain a relationship with a preteen son who's always been generally respectful. So that would be that's a very good question, but there's so many angles that we could go with that. I'd like to talk to you more about it, Alethea Brown. I would love to talk to you more about it because that's a bigger conversation. And I remember my preteens and teens very, very vividly. And I remember my mama looking at me and just trying to figure something out, and I wasn't even doing nothing. Like, I was a good kid, but she always talked about how it was like talking to a brick wall, and I was very respectful. She called me respectfully rebellious because I would look at her and I'd say yes, ma'am, and I'd smile and I'd nod my head and I would do what the hell I felt like doing. And in my mind, I wasn't doing that. So it's a lot of ways. It's a lot of ways that you can better a relationship. But and I'm not a parental or parental guidance counselor, but as a young man who's been through an interesting a phase with my brother died as I was right after I turned 13. So I had a very interesting beginning to the preteen stage, and there was a lot of rebellion in me for a lot of reasons, and I was also grieving. So I can relate to the struggle that a parent might have, being on the other side of that, having wanted to help my mom understand where I was coming from a bit more, but really couldn't articulate it at the time. I'd love to talk to you about that more, but that's a large conversation, and people will fall asleep on me if I start talking about it here. Broken J21, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. So I don't know if you elaborated on this before, but can you explain what you mean by love with your brain? Yes. So I always say this, and I say it quite often, and it's my quote. I think I made it up. I've never heard anybody say it, but I always say a woman's heart betrays her just as a man's penis betrays him. And we can all know, everybody here knows, most of the people here knows that guys will risk it all for a piece of tail. They just will. And they will go against everything that they say they stand for. They will risk their lives, their families, their livelihood. These men are out here losing their jobs. And some of the, for a guy and his sex deviancy, there is just no limit to what a guy will put on the line to get some sexual gratification. And his penis betrays him. He doesn't have control over his members, and it causes him a great deal of destruction. Well, a woman's heart does the same thing to her. Her motivations aren't sexual. They're usually much deeper than that, much more complex than that. But the object of a woman's affection is often as risky, as low down, as detrimental to her mental and emotional stability, her mental and emotional health, her financial future, her job, her lifestyle, her confidence, her self-esteem, her self-love. There are guys who are dangerous to a woman in every way possible, but her affections will fixate on this man, and she'll love him, and she'll say, well, I love him, and I got to have him. I love him, and it's weird. It's like when a guy's horny, he said, man, I just had to hit it, man. I just got to get that, man. And guys talk like that, man. I got to hit it, man. And they know they risking their life. They know they risking their wife, their kids, their everything, but they got to do it. A woman will do that with her heart. A woman will be so led by her heart, and she will fixate on a man that has nothing to offer her, a man that is toxic in every way to her future. It is counterintuitive to date a man like this. What they call it, cognitive dissonance, to move like these women move, and they still do it. And that's just to move against your the cognitive dissonance. The simple definition is to operate against your own best interests, right? So when I say love with your brain, I'm telling women to apply their logic to their love life, because a lot of times women are very excited to feel the excitement of a new relationship, but they don't allow themselves to compute and think and calculate enough. And they think, and they're thinking all day, every day, but they usually toss the thoughts, toss the valuable thoughts away. They just want to feel, and sometimes feeling exclusively will get you in a world of trouble, especially with some of these men. So love with your brain is about thinking as much as you feel, computing as much as you feel, judging as much as you feel, discerning as much as you feel. And so that's what I'm saying. Love with your brain. Yes, feel the feelings, but also think about it. Use your mind, and think objectively. You can't exclusively feel. You have to think as if you were your friend, if you were your family member looking at you. How would you feel about this situation? A lot of times y'all get very good advice from y'all family, but y'all turn them out. I remember I had a friend stop talking to me, left me a nasty voicemail and stopped talking to me because I disapproved of her boyfriend, and I didn't give a damn about dating her. We wasn't never like that, but he was just a scoundrel. And, you know what I'm saying? And I just wouldn't get behind her. I didn't even tell her that. I just wouldn't get behind her with it. And she was like, well, I ain't messing with you. She didn't. I come to find out she exited everybody. Everybody got kicked out that didn't like him. Even if they didn't say they didn't like him and she knew it, she found out they didn't like him. She was done with him. And it was just stupid. And so, when you love with your brain, you're being a friend to yourself. And you never forget to compute and to discern and to judge everything, from a perspective of logic and truth, not just emotional ambition. That's what love with your brain means. I've never had to define it. That's very interesting that somebody asked me to do that because no one's ever asked that. Good question. Broken J 21. Love that question. Let me see. Somebody said, Natasha Martin said, I really thank you for all your positive feedback and has given me more confidence to be the best I can be. Being a big girl has been hard, but now I'm doing good and being comfortable with me. Yeah, you gotta be comfortable with you. Like, you are your biggest advocate. And a lot of people always say, I'm my biggest critic. That's common, right? That's a cliche thing when people say that, I'm my biggest critic. I'm my biggest critic. Nobody says I'm my biggest advocate. And I don't know why, because it's much more valuable than criticizing yourself. We know what's wrong with ourselves. We don't need to keep telling ourselves what's wrong with ourselves. We need to fix what's wrong with ourselves. If we're chronically flawed, then we need to fix something. But you have to be your biggest advocate. You have to be your biggest fan. You got to love yourself because nobody can do it for you. Do what you can do about the things that cause you to be insecure. So if your size and weight or health are causing you issues, then I don't advocate not doing anything about it. But what I do is I advocate loving yourself at whatever stage you're at. Trying to be your best, but accepting who you are. You can't reject yourself and be healthy mentally and emotionally. So I'm glad that you're learning to be comfortable with yourself, but that doesn't mean settle. That means, love yourself, be comfortable at where you are, but always strive for better. Because today you might be comfortable with something, tomorrow, it could change. Somebody says, I like your vocabulary. I'm going to incorporate some of your sayings into my personal dictionary. Shiesty character. I'm rolling. I appreciate it. I don't know. I think I need to read the dictionary a bit more, or at all. I used to read the dictionary when I was like a teenager because I don't know. I always wanted to be like a wordsmith. It just never happened. I'm not a wordsmith. I think that it's helped me become an articulate person. But man, I get tongue tied a lot. I get twisted up a lot, and I'm not a quick witty thinker. Like I've always respected people who could think on a dime, like really quickly. They can come up with quick witty responses, or they can think of the most intricate way to say a thing. I think that I do a good enough job keeping things simple enough. But I would love a bigger vocabulary. I don't think you could ever go wrong with less choices. Somebody say, Kev, my new man likes winding me up as a joke, but I'm extremely sensitive and I get easily embarrassed. He said his family are like him. Any tips, please? I don't think that you should ever allow a man to give his family permission to play with you like that. Like you gotta have there has to be some level of decency, some level of boundaries, right? And if he's not respecting your boundaries, and you become accustomed to that, and you've decided that you will accept his trampling over your personal boundaries, that's cool. I can't tell you what to do, but to let other people that you don't love, that you're not sleeping with, that you're not in love with, do it would be insanely ridiculous, and it's just counterintuitive. So if he's saying his family are just like him, you need to be telling him that his family needs to shut the hell up, or they need to have some respect and do that play with somebody else. Don't play with you, because you can take it from him because you ultimately feel loved again. There's a softening of the blow when you go to sleep at night, or you kiss him and you say, I'm sorry, baby, or you do something that lightens the mood in your home. or in your relationship. But those people, if you go in to visit his family and you don't really know them like that, and they dropping on you like that, you're not going to be able to lighten the mode. Like there's going to be less opportunity for you to feel loved after the insults or after the poking. And so it's going to create a resentment in you if you take too much shit from his family. So he has to at least build a boundary that his family is going to treat you with some respect, or just leave you alone and not play with you at all. But don't let yourself become the butt of every joke just because they're having fun with somebody. That's just not cool. And you don't have to change and be more aggressive to fit in with them. Don't be assimilating with them just because you don't want to be a victim. You're going to be a victim. So either don't take no shit, or you're going to get a whole lot of it. And I don't think that you can grow into the type of person who can give it at the rate that they've been giving it if they've been doing that for years. So set some boundaries with his family, and he's supposed to be the one to make sure that's known. That's just respect. Nobody gonna disrespect my wife. Me and my wife go somewhere. Ain't nobody about to play with her. They play with me. They know me. Ain't gonna play with my wife. You got me. Anyway, just set some boundaries. Let me see. You ever met a friend with her? Something's fishy. She tried with him. Okay, so somebody said, "Oh, hold on." Tatisha Sherman says, "Do you think it's possible to be in love with two people at the same time?" Yes, it's possible. That's absolutely possible. It's a lot of people who broke up because they were hurt, not because they were finished loving each other. And then you get with someone else and you can love them too. And I believe that plural relationships are as loving as singular relationships or conventional relationships. And a person with four wives, or some sister wives, sister bays, whatever y'all like to call them. There are some very interesting structured relationships out here, and I talk to a lot of people. I get a lot of emails, and some of them are in very interesting relationship structures. Three people in love with each other, stuff like that. It happens. That's absolutely real. So one person can be in love with two people. Yes, that's life, and there's enough polygamists in this world that if you kind of scrape your mind of whatever judgments that you have about them, you realize very quickly that they absolutely love each other, and that's just a different power. It's a different relationship structure. So the more conventional way is somebody to be in a love triangle and loving two people at once, trying to make a decision because America's society says we have to be in love with one person. But that's a rule that we've made up in our society, not something that is absolutely is absolutely true of all relationships. So yes, you can love more than one person at one time. It's not healthy, if you're not supposed to, but if you're allowed, yeah. Plural relationships work sometimes, and they're full of love. I've seen it. Somebody said slanders. Okay, this is a very interesting question. Y'all forgive me for the answer, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Damn, and it skipped. Look, I was rolling up my sleeves to tell y'all about this one, and it skipped. Let me get with y'all. Hold on. Slanders. Anyways, I remember Slanders' question. Slander said, why do guys always ask for pics, and what do they do with them? Slanders. If a dude, first of all, it depends on, I guess, what type of pic. But if a guy already got pictures of you, and especially if he's alluding to something sexy, he's gonna rub one out to that picture. That's what they're doing. When the guy's asking for a sexy picture, he's rubbing one out to the picture. He's choking his chick into the picture. That's what guys are doing with your sexy picture. So if you send him a picture of your face and he's like, nah, give me the sexy one, he's jacking off to your picture. Now, if a guy is asking for a picture and he's cool with like a face shot or something like that, he could still be technically rubbing one off. I mean, it's possible, but maybe he just wants to feel like you've given him a personalized picture of yourself. It just depends on the rapport that you got. If you have a good relationship and you're building and you're connecting and you're just getting closer with one another, and he wants a picture. He wants something that was sent from you and taken exclusively for him. He's actually asking for an emotional signature or an emotional symbol. So for him, it's like, oh, she took me this picture. It makes him feel closer to you to have something that you took exclusively for him. But if he already got that and he keep asking for pictures and he's like alluding to legs, alluding to this, alluding to that, or he's like trying to say, send me a sexy picture without saying it, because he wants something to jack off to. Somebody said, do men become more affectionate towards their girlfriends when they feel a bit of jealousy, or like when there's a potential guy who can catch their eye? I don't know. I think that depends on the guy. That depends on the guy. Like if I felt like it was a guy trying to catch my wife's, like a guy potentially caught my wife's eye, I wouldn't be more affectionate. I'd probably be more distant. And so I guess it would just depend. It would depend on what the relationship closeness is, what the intimacy level established is, and how close that other guy is, or what caused the jealousy. I think that sometimes women try to play this game where they make men jealous, and it's a dangerous game, because some of the things that they do to make men jealous, they make them look more. It makes them look more untrustworthy than they intended, and it ruins a man's visual of you. If a man does have honor and high regard for you, you don't want to play around with the jealousy stuff. But I don't think that was your question. You said, do men become more affectionate? No, I don't. That some guys will become more affectionate, some guys won't, but it depends on how they process the thing that made them jealous. And if the thing that made them jealous was an action that you took, then no, they might not become more affectionate. They'll be disappointed in you. They might even be a little bit hurt. But if the thing that made them jealous was outside of your control, then yeah, they may get a bit more affectionate. It just depends. Somebody said, Kev, where are the real men? Why are there so many men trying to find a second mother? There are a lot of real men. I always get that. I feel you. Somebody said they use the pics to play with themselves. Absolutely true. I guess that's a better way of saying it. I said it every bad way you could say it possibly, but yeah, they play with themselves. Man, good men are everywhere. Like, I've always known good men. I've always been around good men. Like, I don't think that they're as elusive as you think they are. I think that good men don't ultimately give women butterflies. There's something about good men that a lot of women just aren't that excited about. They don't give good men a good enough chance. Every one of these, I mean, God, I swear, I bet 90% of the women who are in my comment sections on a regular basis, or I talk to on a regular basis, that say, well, there are no good men out there, have turned a guy down for being too nice, have had a guy that had a crush on them that was really sweet, and they just like, nah, I'm really into him. He didn't give them butterflies, but I mean, if you're just judging the character of a man, you've experienced good men, you just didn't like them. You're selective, and that's good. I'm not saying that you should go select a guy that you're not into and try to, force yourself to love him. What I'm saying is, just because you wasn't into the good man doesn't mean that there's no good man. It just means you didn't like the ones that you encountered. But most of y'all have encountered guys that liked you that you didn't like them. But the thing is, when a guy likes you, if he's a man of decency, if he has basic decency, when a guy likes you, he can be a good man. And the problem is, most of the time, women, for whatever reason, while they refuse to approach a man, are always chasing men. And you chasing the one that don't respect you, chasing the one that won't answer the phone, chasing the one that won't text you back, chasing the one that flirts with other women, chasing the one that got a billion other women, chasing the one that hit it once or twice a week, come eat your food up and then leave, chasing the one that leave them packs at your house, got the police knocking on your door. Y'all chasing all these other dudes. And then when you meet a good dude, you're telling him, I don't know, you're a really nice guy, but I don't really know. I don't know if we can work out. You might not be my type. I get it. you're not into that dude, that particular gentleman. But that does not mean because you didn't like the good men that you were presented with that there are no good men. It just means that they didn't give you butterflies. And you can't say what he wasn't good because I didn't like him. There are a lot of good men out here. A lot of good men. Like I said, I don't even know I don't even like. I've never hung out with no dudes that were. I got like one friend that used to be pretty rough on them females. Um, and I'm sorry for a female. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry for. Look, I ain't getting into the female thing. But I had one friend who was rough on a woman. But even he had a girlfriend that he loved. He was in love with her, and he didn't cheat on her for a long time. He was good to her for a minute. But there are a lot of good men out here. I think that you just have to change what you're attracted to, or understand the thing that you're attracted to might not always lead you to a good man. But good men are everywhere. That's a long answer to a short question. I don't know where they're at though, because I don't know what city you in. I don't know what type of. Sometimes if you can't find a good man, like I said, if you fishing in the wrong pond, change your pond. It means change the area of town you shopping in. Change the city you shop in. A lot of times you in a congested city, all the men take on the same character traits and ultimately become like the same person. It becomes culture to not be a good man. So you have to get yourself into a different pond, fish in a different pond with a different culture, and you can find a good man. Um, Let me see. Somebody said I liked this guy enough to have sex with him and then spend time with him, but I don't like him. But I don't like him. I like this guy enough to have sex with him and spend time with him, but I don't like him. We met a week ago. Will it come with time? How is leading from my head gonna lead to a heart connection? Well, you've led with your vagina if you're already having sex with a guy that you met a week ago. So I don't know how. I don't know how you're gonna get a heart connection anyway, because you're stunting the growth of the relationship, and it might not be for him, it might be for you. Uh, you know, and after a week, I'm not sure you would like anybody. I think you're still learning a person after a week. You're looking for butterflies. No, I ain't trying to. I'm not dumping on you, funny Val. But this is the exact thing I be talking about. Like, you like the guy enough to have sex with him and spend time with him. That just means he's okay. You know that's not a big. The standards there aren't very high. So if you like the guy enough to have sex with him and spend time with him, and you met him a week ago, you haven't learned enough about him to like him. Like, you haven't even given yourself an opportunity to like him. You've skipped some steps there. Now, he could be a great guy. He could be a scoundrel. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is, you're saying, will it come with time? You haven't even had enough time for the first two details that you gave to, y'all still supposed to be just trying to figure out the background, getting each other's bios, filling out each other's energy. And you spent some time with him, so I get it. But I don't know. I don't think a week. If you jumped in bed before the first week, I'm not sure how you would even really encounter a guy long enough to figure out if you're gonna really like him. I would guess that you probably won't like him. A lot of times, if you like somebody almost instantly, but everybody don't have to give you butterflies. And I think if you're looking for butterflies or excitement or that bubbly feeling, or that feeling in the pit of your stomach when you see a guy, if you don't have that for him by now, then you're saying, well, you don't like him. I don't think liking is safe. I think like is a thing that leads people to not live with their brain sometimes, because you're so focused on liking him that you're not measuring his character, his integrity, his respect for you. I think that you're skipping some steps. How is leading from my head going to lead to a heart connection? I don't think you're leading from your head at the moment. I think that you're skipping a lot of steps, and I think that developing a heart connection requires first developing a mental connection, and you haven't had enough time to do that, in my honest opinion. But hey, it's all good, and it's all love, no offense. But I would slow things down and just see if you can stand to converse with him without without growing bored of him for a week. And if you can stay on the phone with him, if you enjoy talking to him and sharing ideas with him after a few weeks, then maybe you can start to like him. Sometimes it's not instantaneous. Love isn't instantaneous, and sometimes like isn't instantaneous. And when we require that, or when we set that as the bar, we often play ourselves with people, because a person can come into your life and give you butterflies, and you can just feel amazing. You can know him for 2 days, and he can give you butterflies, get his name tattooed all over your body, and then the next day he'd be somebody different. He'd be acting different. You just don't know enough about a person. So again, butterflies should not be the measure that you take of a man. His ability to get you excited about him. That's not the first measure you should take of a man. The first measures you should take is, the character, the integrity, the ability to sustain. You should be looking for the qualities that sustain you in a relationship. And if you don't find those qualities, then there's no reason to do anything else. But that's just that's my gospel. That's, what do I know? But I tell you, you're skipping a lot of steps, and you're probably gonna have some issues if that's the way you take it. And maybe you didn't have sex with him. Maybe you were just saying, hypothetically speaking. Hopefully, you were just speaking hypothetically. I'm just not an advocate for jumping in bed with people before you know him. He could have something. You ain't seen his test results. I mean, for real, you ain't seen his test results. Y'all know chlamydia and damn gonorrhea and spiked in America. I don't know what the percentage is. I was gonna share it on Instagram, but I didn't want to make people sick. Let me see. Hopefully they understand your relationship and don't cry. Absolutely. Somebody said, I don't agree with that. Just my opinion, though. I've said so much, I don't even know what you don't agree with. But I'm not here so everybody agrees with me, man. I'm sharing my perspective, my truth, my paradigm, and everybody has a different paradigm. And that doesn't make mine right and yours wrong. But, I just happen to have the platform, and people for whatever reason value my perspective. But it doesn't mean that whatever I say is right and whatever you say is wrong. I don't think that opinions and paradigms can be right and wrong. They're your truth, and I'm just sharing my truth. So anybody, feel free to disagree with my truth. Somebody said, a man told me he loves me after 1 month of dating. Should I run? I don't know. I don't know. I guess it would depend on how much time he has spent with you in that 1 month. I don't think 1 month is unreasonable. I think 1 month is when you start thinking, maybe I could love this person. And some people process that differently. And, so you can't put like a time limit or a minimum time on it like that. I think 1 month is a safe place to at least analyze your propensity to love a person, or the likelihood that you might love them. And so that can be confused. A person can really like you and want you to be around and want to love you and want it to be a love thing so they can say they love you. But just tell him, hey, it's all love over here, and hopefully you'll develop feelings in the future and you can be able to say it back. But I wouldn't let myself be pressured into saying I love you back just because somebody jumped a gun on it. But 1 month isn't unheard of for a person to say that. Somebody said, I met a guy on Plenty of Fish. He goes to church every weekend, but he lied about his name and how long his ex has been in a relationship with another guy. Says he's blocked from her Facebook and it's private, but I found it. Should I trust him? I don't know. I don't know why he would be lying about that. I think that once you start covering up stuff, then you allude to a bigger story being told. You catch him in a lie right now about that. I just don't know why he would be so dishonest about something so stupid. It doesn't mean he's inherently a liar, but at the same time, I don't want to find out there's more to the story after we're already in a relationship. You don't want to end up in some kind of love triangle. And you want to know that he's processing the breakup appropriately. If he's blocked, I just would want to know why he's being dishonest about his history. Gina Bond says, thanks again for the email advice. I did give him the Hennessy. I asked for a talk, but he seemed indifferent, so I told him I won't bother him again. Sometimes you just got to let people do their thing. Like, I remember you said you was going to do that. And if a guy seems indifferent, You don't beg for a man's time. You don't beg for a man's attention. Unless he owes that to you. If you're in a committed relationship, then I'm not a big fan of trying to save face. You're in a committed relationship. We owe each other this intimacy. We should require it and hold each other accountable. But when you're trying to establish an official commitment, and in your case, Gina, y'all, there was a long it was a situationship developing, but there was really no commitment formed. I don't feel like you should be begging for him to come back and meet you in the middle. I think if he seems indifferent, just give him space and start making peace with the fact that this might not go the way you want it to go, and he might not be a person in your life for as long as you hoped he would be. That's how I feel about that. And I'm so sorry that that's happening to you. You seem pretty excited in your first part of your email, and then it just kind of started going downhill. But yeah, at least he got the Hennessy. I just hate that he's so indifferent. Momo F. Kings, thanks for the great advice. I appreciate your $10 super chat. Absolutely. Thank you. Shakira Helm, a guy told me he would be, thank you for the $5 super chat or the $4.99 super chat. I round up $5. Somebody said, she said, a guy told me that he will be vacationing over the weekend and might not respond, but he would love to resume because he's truly interested. Fishy, right? I don't know. I guess it would depend on how long you were talking to the guy, why he's saying he can't respond. I don't think that that's inherently fishy. I think that he could be telling the truth. Maybe he won't have a lot of pockets on him. Maybe he's trying to separate from his phone. Vacation is a good time to separate from your phone. So, but again, I don't know why he couldn't say, hey, good night or something like that. So I wouldn't know. I think that a lot of times people like to separate themselves completely on vacation. But he would love to resume when he gets back. He's truly interested. If he made a point to tell you that, then I think that it's less fishy than him just saying, hey, I might not be responsive, but it's all good. He's trying to tell you that, hey, I'm going to need this space for this time period. And some people are just really good at communicating, when they need space. I don't think it's fishy. I don't think that should be something that you should hold against him unless you figure out that for whatever reason, there was a good reason that he didn't want you calling or texting like he was with someone else. But until you find that out, he don't really owe you an explanation. And, y'all not in a place close enough to where you can really make any determinations about his integrity based on that text or comment. So I wouldn't worry about it. I just let him do his thing and then see how he acts when he gets back. You'll learn very quickly when he gets back if he really meant that, because a lot of times women tell me that a guy said that and then when he gets back he's still flaky, and they find out he was with a woman that time. You know what I'm saying? So there are ways to tell why he said that after he comes back. But there's no way to deal with that before. Somebody said, okay. Somebody said, new subby here, finally stayed up long enough to watch you. I appreciate you staying up. I appreciate everybody staying up. All 240 of y'all right now in the chat room hanging out with me. Let me see. Somebody said, my gut is telling me that if he can lie and afraid of being found out about being on Plenty of Fish, and tells me that he probably let him know that if he can't be honest with me in the beginning, then how can I trust him at all? Absolutely. If you catch a guy in a lie in the beginning of the relationship, then it tells you that he has a tendency to fib to protect his interests. We speak a lot about integrity on my channel. I don't think that indicators of dishonesty are something that you want to pass up on or forget about. I think that you need to be taking notes, making sure that you're always judging things, always computing things, and making sure that this person is somebody healthy enough for you and someone conducive to your emotional health. Because if they're going to be lying to you, you're not going to trust them. You're always going to be on edge trying to figure out where they are, what they're doing, if they're telling the truth when they say that. Like, who wants to live like that? And in the very beginning, you're supposed to be on your best behavior. If you can't be good in the very, very beginning, then at least want to believe that the relationship might be a bit flawed from the beginning. After a year of seeing each other, should we have already established a relationship status? Absolutely. I think that if a man wants to be with you, he's not going to wait a year. And you're not gonna date a guy for a whole year without him knowing where he stands with you. That sounds like some teenagers can play around for like a year because they don't really have the space and the time with each other. Teenagers are under their parents' roof, so there are a lot of limitations in school and stuff like that. But if you're two adults dating for a year, then yeah, you should have an established relationship status, especially if you're being sexually active with each other. If you're entertaining each other sexually, then you definitely should have a relationship status. And there's no relationship status coming if you've been having sex for a year and you don't have a relationship. You might as well just throw in a towel. Okay, somebody's explaining super chat to somebody else. It says basically when you do a super chat, you pay towards him, and it gives your comment a highlight so he sees it. That's exactly what happens. It just highlights your comment because there's a lot of comments here, and I'm missing a lot of them. And my comment section keeps jumping around, which is it's just frustrating. I wish I could see if Scorpion Lady had a question. I would love to answer a question, but I don't know. I haven't seen a Scorpion Lady question, so I swear I'm not skipping over you, Scorpion Lady. If you super chat me, I'll definitely see it, but I have not seen the question yet. Somebody said, Nation Queen said, determination, honesty, consistency, integrity, strength, courage, wisdom, stability, and motivation. Those things are all great. I'm down with it. What she said, this generation is so suspicious. They absolutely are. But, we have this generation deals with a lot more stimulus than, previous generations. Like previous generations, a guy had to leave his house and use his gas money up to cheat. Like he had to get on the phone and have a trackable phone conversation with somebody. Like you could look at the phone bill and say, oh, who you talk to in Texas for 50 minutes? Who you talk to down the street for 35 minutes and 3 seconds. Like this generation has all kind of apps. There's so many ways to sneak around. We have an unlimited menu of other people at our fingertips. You had to go to a club in the 80s and the 70s and the 90s to find somebody to cheat with. You can cheat from the comfort of your own bedroom, your own bathroom. You can sit on the toilet and cheat, liking pictures and finding women to date now. So this generation is suspicious, but it's suspicious for good reason because we have so much more access to each other than previous generations that this is just a learning curve for everyone, learning how to balance people skills, relationship skills, communication skills with the amount of access that we absolutely have to each other. Let me see. Just curious, Kevin, how are you feeling right now? Just curious, how are you feeling right now, Kev? Receiving all this information is great, but it's also a lot to process. I can only help but wonder how you're feeling right now. I feel all right. I'm good. I'm hanging out. When I start yawning, I got like 20 minutes left. About 20 minutes left, but I feel good. I'm sharp. I'm a night owl, so I'd be probably watching some trash show on TV. We need to cut our TV out, but we try to wind down with about an hour of TV before we go to sleep, just to shake all the dust off the day. So I feel pretty good. I'm a little tired, but I feel good. I'm still not going to sleep, so it really don't matter if I'm doing this or I'm watching TV. Still wasn't going to sleep. Hi there. What's a man's true motive? She said, hi there. Really good advice on what's a man's true motivation. I keep getting emails. I'm sorry. What's really good advice on what's a man's true motivation for asking for a key, especially when the man asks more than once? Oh, a man wants a key. A guy. If you're dating a guy and you, for whatever reason, are close enough that he wants a key to your place, He's trying to move himself in, and either that, if he doesn't plan on moving in, but he wants a key, what he's asking for is um, more dominion, or not control, but like territory. Like he's trying to open up his territory and take a bit of ownership over your space. He wants to be the man, of that space. And he may already be, but I don't think, maybe he thinks it's not officially a place that he can claim unless he has a key, and he knows other men don't have a key, obviously. He's trying to grow the relationship. He probably take it to a next step, but he's also trying to space his territory and measure his territory out a bit, and expand it a bit. So that's what he's doing. And if you got a good relationship, I'm not opposed to it. I don't think it's wrong. I just think that that's how some men process it. It's my wife, it's my woman's house. I should have a key to it. I get it. Mags Free, what's going on, Mags Free? We were supposed to have a consultation, and then you canceled that thing. She said, I want to take a moment not only to thank you, Kevin, for your wise words, but also your followers. This chat room is lit. You guys are really smart. Oh my God. Yeah, we got some brilliant minds. Like a lot of people are just absolutely brilliant. And I get a lot of wisdom and knowledge and understanding from my comment section. And I really appreciate most of the people who come in and impart their wisdom and knowledge too. Like I said, I'm not here trying to be the smartest person in the world, and I don't know everything, but I love with a lot of my audience being older than me, they just have life experience that nothing that I can say at the moment will compare to their life experience. It's just some things you get with age. And so, we got some older people really giving game to some young women, and we got some young women who are wise beyond their years. And so, it's a beautiful experience when you get in the comment section and see all the wisdom and all the love that people have for each other, and the goodwill that people have, outside of those few ignorant haters. Lieutenant Lovely. That's a beautiful picture. It's interesting, very artistic. I was an art major. I went to an art school. I was a visual artist, so I can appreciate the art on your picture. She said, super excited, Kev. Excellent job. I put as many up on you as I can up on you. Please highlight narcissistic red flags to watch for. See you on your Instagram. See you on Instagram. I think I'm gonna do. I don't even want to give it up right now. I think I'm gonna do a video of narcissistic red flags. That's actually a good idea, and I've been kind of working on one. So I'm gonna save that for a video, but I'll do that video very soon, and I think you'll enjoy it. And see me on Instagram. If you DM me before, put a bunch of stars or something. Hit me in my DM, put a bunch of stars so I can see you on DM, see you on Instagram. Since you said see you on Instagram, I want to see you on Instagram. So put a bunch of stars up on Instagram. DM me a bunch of stars or a symbol or something so it sticks out so I can see you. That way, when I do the narcissistic video, you can be the first person I tell. Anytime somebody requests a video, I always email them and say, hey, I got your video. I did your video. It's up, just in case you wanted to watch it. There's a lot of times people tell me to do a video and I do it, and then I find out they didn't even see it. And that's fine because everybody else benefited. But if somebody asked me a question or they wanted me to do a video, I really want them to feel, like I listened to them. So I'll definitely hit you up and let you know that I did it when I did it. If you email me and let me know. Yeah. Somebody said, why is it that whenever I've made it difficult for a guy to get with me, those ended up turning into long committed relationships, but whenever I date a guy and show him a lot of interest, they run? Well, that's basically how a lot of life goes. Guys deal with the same thing. Man, I've dated, I don't even know how many girls I've dated, not had sex with. I'm not a scoundrel. I've never been that way, but I've dated a lot of girls. I used to date for sport. I didn't want to sit in the house and do nothing. I just wanted to go out to dinner with somebody, company of a woman. So I've dated a lot, and I've noticed that I usually go much farther on dates with girls that I don't care about or I don't like or haven't really developed any interest for. They just seem to be easier relationships to establish for me than when I liked a girl a whole lot and I was trying to impress her. and it doesn't work as well. And so you allude to the relationships being successful when you didn't really show them interest, or you play hard to get. Um, that's some for whatever reason. That's just how men work. When you show a man interest, and you can show interest. There are men who are genuine. I think that you're obviously dating there's a personality type there, or a personality trait that you seem to have encountered a good amount. But a lot of guys are like that. A lot of guys want to feel like they're chasing. They don't want it too easy. But there are just as many guys who just want a genuine connection with somebody, who want somebody to say, hey, I like you too. And that's like the dream. That's like their fantasy, right? And so you've just matched up with people who wasn't your match, and that was your experience. But it's not necessarily set in stone that happens. For me, it seems that way with me. Like when a girl likes me, it's just been the coincidental thing that I liked a girl less than she liked me. There was a coincidence. It wasn't because she showed me interest. It was just coincidentally how things happen. And coincidentally, when I really liked a girl, she didn't like me as much. I feel like that was a coincidence. Some of it was behavioral. But for the most part, you just match up with people, and trying to get somebody who likes you as much as they like you like them it's a magic trick, man. It's a gamble, and usually it doesn't happen like that. Kev, what are your personal views on women having? It says somebody said, Kev, what are your personal views on women having? And then they didn't finish the question, so I don't know. Women have a lot of stuff. Women have a whole lot of stuff. Somebody said I date for sport too. Yes, man. Listen, when I was dating, I was going on 2 and 3 dates a week, like 2 or 3, 4 dates a week. I was just dating to get out the house. Like I said, I wasn't using no girls though, so it wasn't like I was out here racking up hurt feelings or nothing like that, But I tell you what, I ended up fogging a lot more windows up in the back of cars when I didn't really care about how the date went. And for whatever reason, maybe my reaction or indifference to how the date went led to a more interest on the woman's part. Because when I absolutely cared, I ended up getting a hug at a door or something. That'd be as far as I got. And it wasn't a goal of mine to get far or with a woman, but it just seemed like the romance happened much more naturally when I just didn't care about how things went. But it led to a girl liking me more, and so it got dangerous for me quick when I didn't care. So it's the exact same thing that the girl said about showing interest in the guy, just not being interested. Know what that's about? Somebody going in on somebody, maybe me. I don't know. Somebody said, I love you since I watched your show. I learned so much game. Thank you so much for keep it up. You're amazing. I'm a college girl. There's a lot to offer with no longer wasting time. Yeah, when I started my channel originally, I was trying to do it for college girls, trying to help college girls or girls that were like seniors in high school, old enough to be doing the things that we talk about. And for the most part, women 25 to 45 have gravitated toward my message a bit more. Only about 20% of my viewership is under 25, and so I'm not sure what's caused that. But that's how things happen, and I'm fine with that. But I appreciate you being one of my younger viewers and showing love. I got like 10 minutes, and I'm getting up off of here. I gotta watch my show with my wife in a minute when she get done with her show. I was on vacation in NYC, lives in LA. He's from Italy, seems too open. He wants me to go stay with him. Is this because he's foreign? Oh, I don't know what's up with that, man. If you was on vacation and you met a gentleman from Italy and now he wants you to come stay with him in New York, I guess that would all depend on how long you've been talking to him. How far things went on when you were on vacation. I need more information because I don't even know how long you've been talking to the gentleman. You've been talking to him for a few weeks. That's very quick. He could be pretty desperate. It could be a foreign thing. He could be a bit too trusting. I don't know why you want a woman to move in with you after I don't even know how long, because you didn't mention it, but it could be because he's desperate, or and I don't always mean desperate. Desperate isn't always bad. Desperate just means I'm at the wit's end of lonely, and I want to be with someone. And so he's eager. We can say eager because people think desperate is always bad, and we can say eager. But I don't know. I would need more information on that. And thank you for your super chat. But it's the same guy that you've been talking to, so that's good. But funny Val, you probably want to you probably got to write me. DM me on Instagram. My DMs are free. Put like a gang of stars in your DM so I see it. So Instagram me at kevhick24, KEVHICK 24. That's my Instagram. Again, KEVHICK 24 on Instagram. DM me a bunch of stars, funny Val, and that way we can continue the conversation there, and I'll be looking for it. Because I don't want to give you bad information because I don't have any details. Okay, here we go. Somebody says she finished her question. What's your personal views on women being in love with multiple men and having multiple boyfriends and husbands? Do you believe that they have that right like their male counterparts? Yeah, listen, relationship structure is only inhibited by the beliefs of the people involved. Okay, so I don't like. I'm not going to tell you that a woman can't have brother husbands, or however they're called, brother bays. Just like a guy can have sister wives, or like I don't think that men are, for whatever reason, so far superior that they should have multiple partners, and women can't. I'm not in favor of women having multiple partners, but I'm also not in favor of guys having multiple partners. I'm not in favor of anybody having a relationship structure that doesn't agree with the people that they're in a relationship with. So as long as you're not betraying the people in the relationship, you can have whatever made up structure you want. You can have, y'all can damn tag team. I don't care if it's two guys, two girls, and everybody's having love, and I don't give a crap what it is. But as long as everybody's in agreement about what's going on, that's where I draw my line, is about where is about playing with people's emotions and making sure that people in a relationship have agreed to the structure that's being performed. And so if a woman has 5 or 6 guys and they're okay with sharing her, I've heard about these things before. They're fine, and they're like, they're into that, stuff, and that's cool with me. I don't care. Shit ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna change my household. I don't have no beliefs on it. I think, man, have love the way you want love, and just respect the people that you're in love with is all I ask. And yeah, they have the right, like their male counterparts. They have the right, but actually, nobody has the right to be married to multiple people in America, unless you're in Vegas, I think. No, but in Vegas, you can still only have one wife. You can practice polygamy. They'll leave you alone. Somebody said F double standards. You said the F words, so I'll let it go. I'm not. That's YouTube saying you said the F word, not me. She said Maria Toria said F double standards. If a man can do it, not that it makes it right. Women shouldn't be seen differently. No, women can do what she wants to, and if you find men who are willing to do that, then hell, more power to you. Most real men not going for it though, because hell no, most men are definitely not going for that. But most women aren't going for that. So that's just, most people are not going to share. Well, people haven't learned to share. That's not a thing that people have mastered, is generosity and sharing. That's what's up. A video on dating while celibate. That's a good idea. What to say when a guy brings up sexual topics, even after you told him you're celibate. Bye. Fuck out of here. I'll talk about it. I'll look into making a video about that. No, Maria Teria. I wasn't saying you can't swear. I don't care if you swear, because I be swearing. I'm all right. I'm not a whole, I'm good. YouTube catches your comment and it doesn't know if you're cussing me out, so it'll hold your comment, and then I'll have to decide to show. I have to like push a button to show your comment if you do swear, because YouTube doesn't know what you're doing. They think you might be attacking someone. That's what that is. Why are men treated like they are more important? Damn, they come out of our bodies. We deserve more respect. Absolutely, absolutely. And I suppose that it would depend on what circle you were talking to. I know a lot of men are treated like they're more important, but that's because men are creating these standards. For whatever reason, we have a male-dominated society, a white male-dominated society at that. So when they're creating the standards, not white men in general, but men in general, when men create the standards, they will exalt themselves. They're not going to exalt you. There are societies in which women rule and the men are minimalized. Not many societies, most of the world is the opposite. But there have been civilizations that the women are worshipped as goddesses. So, it happens. But you're absolutely right. Men are treated like they're worth more. They're more valuable. They're more this, that, and the other. But it's because we have a male-dominated society, and right now the ruling class makes up the standards. We don't have enough people rebelling against that standard in an efficient, effective way. I think that you can be equal. That's absolutely valid. I think that you should be equal. But if we're going to talk about the equality, there are a lot of arguments that people have avoided for a while because I think that while establishing the women are equal platform, there have been a few oversights that are thought to being in a woman's favor that aren't. I think that women are absolutely equal. I think they're equal enough to my wife kicked somebody out of the chat room. They probably call me an N-word or something. She really only kicks people out when they call me an N-word or when they get really racist. If they're just talking about doing thus and so to me, sometimes she giggles, but she's not tripping off that. Anyway, I think that the women's equality movement would gain a lot more steam without some of the more identity extremists seeming to speak out in front of the message. I think that sometimes, just like with any other movement, the Black Lives Matter movement or the Antifa, and I think Antifa just they do their damn thing. They all kind of extreme. But like with the Black Lives Matter movement, you have people who are very, very middle of the road, just want to see logical reform. And then you have people who are setting police cars on fire, and it kills the movement for those for those who really want to help the black people and really just want to help themselves as a people. When it's two brothers standing on a damn police car and it's on fire, like we can't be the same group. And so with the women's movement, it kind of happens the same thing. It's like you have women who don't believe that a man should ever say anything to a woman, period. That's great, but it's not going to help the argument that women are strong enough to handle news or opinions or beliefs outside of anything that might empower their position. And so I believe women are completely capable, so capable that I want to hold women as far as relationships go, because that's where I come in. I want to hold women to a standard of self-preservation. And when women are victimized, I'll be the first one to stand up and say, hey, this is wrong. But at the same time, don't get yourself in no screwy position and then say, well, this shouldn't have happened to me because I'm a woman. You have to love yourself and you have to protect yourself first if you don't have a protector. And I think that there are a lot of arguments that we have to avoid because no one wants to be called a toxic misogynist, as I have. Just for bringing out stuff like, hey, why are you drinking in front of a bunch of guys you don't know? Yes, you can be right about you should not have been, or you should not be raped if you're dressed scantily clad or if you're at a party and you're fall down drunk. But we can't skip over the fact that you're scantily clad and fall down drunk at a party where you don't know guys. We have to address both things. Yes, these guys should get the tips cut off. If you ask me, I think we should. I think if chopping the tips off was like the punishment, we'd have a lot more of this rape crap. a lot less of this rape crap. I'm sorry, but let's, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that, but it's a good solution. Um, but like I said, we can all agree that hey, it's wrong to rape, it's wrong to to sodomize, it's wrong to do these things, and these people should be dealt with. But no one can agree on if we should tell the woman she shouldn't get fall down drunk at a party around people she don't know, around a bunch of men that she don't know. It's like drunk driving. If somebody drunk drives, everybody can say, hey, don't drink and drive, because why? That's a bad decision. But when it comes to telling a woman, hey, maybe you shouldn't have went to a party and passed out and around 19 guys that you just didn't know. Like there was a decision that you made there that contributed to your victimization, and it's not victim blaming. It's just, why would you put yourself in a position? I don't go to the hood with money in my. I don't like have $2,000 in my pocket and pull it out in a bad neighborhood, and then if somebody robs me, I say, well, you shouldn't have robbed me. We can all agree that I shouldn't be robbed, but what I shouldn't have done was pull out the money. And I'm not equally as wrong. I'm definitely the victim, but I have to protect myself too. So we have to be able to have an honest conversation about women's equality from a place that doesn't end up getting people called, sexist, just because they want to point out sometimes that you can put yourself in a bad position. And it's not saying that a woman's not valid in her victimization, or it's not blaming the victim, but we want to create less victims. You can be right or you can be safe, and I would much rather be safe than be right. So that's where I stand with the women are absolutely equal, so equal that we want to hold them to the same standards of judgment, of discernment, of wisdom, of knowledge, of understanding that we hold men to, because men are not inherently smarter than women or anything like that. And I think that until we can have an honest conversation where people aren't fighting, but they're actually seeking to understand each other, we're gonna have this. And I probably get a few dislikes for what I just said, but if I had a daughter and she went to a party and got drunk, I would go off. I would be so upset at her if I had a daughter and she made reckless decisions as a father, because I would be afraid for her safety. But if you're not a father and you just say that, then you're a sexist. And it's like, we have to have some balance. There has to be a real conversation had. Because you can, like I said, it's such a big, such a large subject, and there's so many ways to piss people off. But I wouldn't want my daughter or little sister moving around in a way that could endanger her. Man. Okay. Well, listen, I'm gonna get off of here. I don't know what's going on with y'all. It's only some people going in on each other. I don't know what's happening at the time. Let me see. Advice on finding myself a nice Latino. I don't know. LatinoDate.com, is that a thing? You can try that. Is my wife in a conversation telling people, hey, yes, she is. My wife is speaking to people in the conversation. Ain't nobody gonna be listening to me. I'm looking for her. It's all good. Yeah, she got a lot to say to you. I think that you're gonna enjoy my wife when you finally do meet her. She's very sweet. How can we build? Oh, this is an interesting conversation. I've been thinking about this all day. I'm gonna hold on. Natural hair, skincare, and then we'll get right to you. Natural hair and skincare, $10. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says I didn't know how to increase the amount before learning so much. Can you do a vid about mothers who ruin their sons' relationships? Ooh, my ex nor his brothers can keep a woman because of their mom's jealousy. No, they can't keep a woman because they haven't developed any boundaries with their mom. I think that they empower their mother to have dominion over their relationships. Like my mom cannot do anything to my relationship. She doesn't have enough authority to over my opinion or my relationship or anything that goes on in my house. I think that I can absolutely do that video. Let me write it down. Overbearing mothers, but my my mom doesn't have the power to do anything to my relationship besides witness it. And so when you meet a man whose mom has control over his relationships, it means that his mom has control over him and that he hasn't developed any boundaries. And so it's not the mom. She's going to be who she is. She's probably set in her ways. She's at least 40 something, 50 something, 60 something, 70 something, depends on how old the guy is. But that's not the mom. She's going to be exactly what she's always been. It's his job to create boundaries and protect the woman from her judgment. And because he hadn't seen fit to do that, and none of them has seen fit to do that, they haven't gotten out of her. They haven't been able to break her spell. There's nothing a woman can do if they can't control their mom, or at least control themselves and how much power they give the mom. There's nothing that a woman can come in and do as an outsider, having never experienced that level of power that they give their mom. There's nothing you can do. So it's not the mother ruining their son's relationship. I guess it is, but they give her full authority. My mama can't do nothing to my relationship. Listen, my mom, she's lovely, but my mom is known to cuss a wife out or two. Right? She ain't got my wife yet, but we're gonna keep our fingers crossed. But my mom, man, she can be interesting, but she don't have no authority over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the difference. My mom cusses my mom calls, like, she can't do anything. Like, so I don't understand how these men's mom can ruin relationships because my mom doesn't have that same authority. I can't relate to that, but I know I have some things to say about it. So I'll think about doing a video. I just text that idea to my wife. The Journey of Life 77. Somebody said, how can we rebuild relationships within the African American community? This is an interesting question, and I think about this all the time. My God, it's so much. This would be a very long super chat if I dug into this, but I'll say this. Black love doesn't start with two Black people being together in a relationship. And I like the hashtag, but it's a misrepresentation of what Black love is, or what it should be. And I haven't decided which that is. It's like, Black love is when two brothers are at a gas station and one has a nice car, and we're not intimidated enough by the idea of saying, hey brother, man, you doing that, man, you got a nice car, I like your car, brother. Like, that's Black love. Black love is when two women that don't know each other actually acknowledge and speak to each other, because they may be the only Black people in the room. Like, Black love is when I go to my restaurant job that I work at it maybe once a month, once every 2 months, and I'm the only Black employee in this restaurant, and we're on a side of town where it's not a lot of Black people, and I might see 300 white women in a day at this restaurant, and I might see 40 Black women, and I've seen MAGA hat wearing, absolutely racist, like witnessing racism from these women, and when they see me, they at least give me the white people smile. Y'all know I really don't want to talk to your ass, but you seen me, so the white people smile. They at least give me that. And a bunch of sisters come in there, and I'm the type of person, I speak to everybody, I acknowledge everybody, I always give everybody a smile. I just want to affect positive change, right? And I can't get half the Black women to look at me. I can't get half the Black men to even look at me when they come in the restaurant, and I'm the only Black person in the restaurant. Black love starts at being able to acknowledge each other and show each other love. You talking about rebuilding the African American community? It's got to start with basic greetings, basic genuine affection for each other. And until we can stop, and we're conditioned to look at each other as potential challengers, and we're always in survival mode. We don't feel the dominion over the land or the ownership, so we don't come from a place of absolute comfort. We're always kind of on our toes. But we have to stop looking at each other like potential adversaries and start looking at each other first as family. And if we can do that, we can rebuild the African American community. But we can't even get two Black people to say hi if they're only two people in the restaurant. Like, brothers used to do the nod. I used to go walk into a restaurant or walk into anywhere, and if we was only two brothers, you'd be like you make sure you do the nod. Brothers do a thing where they acknowledge each other, because if the revolution breaks out here, we all we got. And we don't even get that no more. I can't get a brothers looking at their feet when they see me. They looking around me, looking past me. You ever seen one of the movies where like the main character dies and then he doesn't know he's dead until he runs up on one of his family members like, hey, what up? And they don't see him because he a ghost. And he be like, and they walk right through him. He like, man, I'm right here. I'm right here. What's wrong with you? That's how it is when you talking to black people, or when you or sometimes when I encounter black people, especially when I'm on that uppity side of town, and I'm like, man, come on, dude. It's just you and me in here. If the MAGA hats get pissed off, it's all we all we got up in here. And brothers are coming there, man, and they don't even look at you. They like looking through you, looking around. You're trying to avoid eye contact. And black love starts at us just acknowledging each other, loving each other, and greeting each other, showing each other just honor and respect. You know, when I see a black woman and she beautiful, I think, man, look at that queen over there. Like I really think, man, that beautiful black woman, good for her. I don't think. I'm not even thinking about, her sex value or anything like that. I'm just like, hey, man, that beautiful black people. I love black people. Like I get excited when I see black people, and we don't have enough of that. And until we can develop a pride that loves us and we love each other like that, when we get excited to see a guy and like our black women, when you see a guy, stop trying to measure if he thinks you fine or not, or if he's trying to talk to you, or if he's gonna talk to you. Just show love, like show black love. When you see a brother, say, hey, how you doing? You ain't got to call him a king. You ain't got to do none of that, but you can speak to him. You can acknowledge him. You can nod at him. I've been working at that restaurant over, intermittently for the last 2.5 years, 3 years, and I haven't worked there for 2 years, but I'm coming a couple times here or there. And I tell you what, out of the hundreds and thousands of white women I've seen, and about 100 or so that I can confirm to absolutely be racist, because I hear the table conversations while they're in the restaurant. Again, this isn't my main job, but I've heard these conversations. I hear these women spewing this racism, and then when they get up, they at least give me the white people smile, if not a full-on hi. But I see a brother come in with a damn dashiki and he won't speak. 2 women came in with dashikis on the day and refused to look at me. And I'm the only brother in the restaurant. I'm 6'2". I got muscles. I'm handsome. I'm nice. I'm friendly. I'm charismatic. I'm well put together. And these sisters walked straight past me and didn't say, and this is like I don't even expect black women to speak to me when they see me. And then, we have a conversation about, black women always say, well, black men like white women. Well, no, I don't think that's true in mass. I think those guys exist, but that's not the main issue. The main issue is we as people have lost the ability to communicate affection toward each other without it looking like a relationship or a proposal of some sort. We haven't shown each other honor. We don't have any pride in our culture, in ourself, in our skin color. We for whatever reason still don't realize that we are all we have, and our backs against the wall, and so we still treat each other like opposition. And so black women would have better results with black men if they learn to acknowledge men when they see them, instead of assessing whether or not that man was cute enough to talk to or flirt with, and then deciding he wasn't, so not speaking. Black men would do better if they did the same, not only to our women but to each other. And so that's a huge conversation. I've been talking about it for about 10 minutes, so I'll leave it alone. But if I had a black channel, I would have a lot to say about it. But man, that shit just drains me, because you just it's like throwing a quarter into the ocean. You can't give people pride in self. You can't give people honor. You can't give people wisdom, and that's what it's going to require for us to turn things around. And it requires more of us than other cultures. White people don't have to learn how to do any of that. They can ignore each other. They're 70% of the population. They can afford to ignore each other. We are 13% of the population. We don't have that luxury. We're being shot in the back every day by the people who are supposed to protect our communities. We don't have that luxury. We are killing each other. We don't have that luxury. We are dwindling. We are dropping. We are not procreating. We do not have the luxury of not loving each other. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. Anyway, look, man, I gotta get off here. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching. I done missed the last couple of videos, last couple of questions, but man, it's all love, man. And somebody said, "Thank you, Kevin. That was a very profound answer. I've been trying to acknowledge this more. It resonates with me. We all got We are. We got. We absolutely are. So with that said, y'all have a wonderful night. I'm gonna get with y'all later if I can get off.